Hello YouTube fans, here again, and I figure after doing an action marathon, why not this one, as I should be purged, I should be punished, my brother Newty. That's right, from 1986 action film, or I should say an adventure, a bit of a comedy and a bit of action all rolled into one, starring Eddie Murphy, that being the Golden Child. That's right, the Golden Child. It was definitely a bit there, I'd say, for fantasy, Japanese fantasy and adventure films in 1986. Think about it. In 1986, same there, they brought out Big Trouble in Little China, being John Carpenter's Big Trouble in Little China. Which, funny enough, you get some of the actors what appeared in Big Trouble in Little China in this film, being the Golden Child. So you've got it at first, it's in Japan or Tibet. You've got these warriors, you've got this child called the Golden Child who has these magical powers. Long below, he gets kidnapped. Most of the warriors, all the warriors, I say most, all the warriors get killed and he gets kidnapped by this evil sorcerer who wants to sell his soul to Satan. That's a nice film, eh? So then you get now in New York, and you get Eddie Murphy. Now Eddie Murphy is sort of like the Beverly Hills Cop sort of character, but he's sort of like someone who looks for missing kids. So there's a bit of darkness in this film. When you think about it, it's a ballsy film, this film. You see one girl who's been brutally murdered, so it's definitely a ballsy film in that sense, but it's definitely a fantasy film and all. So he's there, and he's looking for this girl who sadly gets brutally murdered, and then he finds out that these people have been sacrificed by blood. I'll make it sound like an horror movie, but it's not. It's a fantasy adventure film. The one thing I do love about the DVD is they actually kept the original artwork that was used in the golden days of VHS and the golden days in the theatrical poster. That's the only thing though it has going for it, apart from having the original trailer. Wow, a trailer. Not a making, not a biography, but a trailer. And it's not even in its original widescreen format, which really does take the P. Because I like the Golden Child, and I don't get why it's got such, by Paramount, I do not get why it gets the most laziest treatment going. Because the Golden Child was a big success. It made a big dosing amount of money. Now granted, it didn't compete at the same time by Big Trouble in Little China. I think Big Trouble in Little China hit it in more ratings, but it still was a big success. The Golden Child was a big success, and it's never got the treatment I feel it should be deserved. Now I love Big Trouble in Little China. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But saying that, you get a true edition of that. I'll give it its due. You get a true disc edition as the original artwork, just like the Golden Child. But in all fairness, I think the Golden Child also needs a true disc edition. Paramount, I'm begging you, Paramount. If you're not going to do anything these days, if you're lazy making new movies these days, then have respect for the movies from the past, like the Golden Child, and bring back a limited true disc edition, the movie in its original widescreen format, remastered. And you know what? I'd love it. I love it because I've got one. You get the original theatrical trailer, hippity freaking doodah. But anyway, let's get on with the bloody movie. So again, you get Eddie Murphy, right? He meets his Chinese girl on the way, really pretty to look at, definitely shy at one scene. I do love to see where she's fighting these bikers, and there's a bit where the blouse gets all wet. That's just me being a bit of a pervert, only because I know she ain't wearing a bra at that scene. And I do love the bit with the effects in it. The little boy, and he makes that chan open up, and it's moving about, and it's doing Dancing by the Ritz, or Doing It by the Ritz, if you remember the song. And you get the evil sorcerer, who is played by a well-known actor. And remember him in one of the Bond movies, Being For Your Eyes Only. He was in that. He was in that a lot of films. He also played the villain in Last Action Hero, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger in 1993. So he's like good at playing these villainly roles. You got the idea he's talking to Satan on the way, but the idea it's saying because he's trying to make it for a longer audience. You know what I mean? And the effects is top notch. You've got stop motion, you've got practical, you've got it all. So I love the Golden Child. I love it for that. I love it. So, yeah, you got Eddie Murphy, like I say, he meets his Chinese girl, And you do get one guy in it who, funny enough, saying they played the villain. He played the villain being in Big Trouble in Little Chinatown. That's like Big Trouble in Little Chinatown. Big Trouble in Little China, the one that played the villain in it. So Pan. He's funny enough, he's in this. And sad to say, the Chinese dude gets killed halfway. This is the one, by the way, that I copied a lot when I say I should be punished, I should be purged. I copied it from this film, The Golden Child. Same as My Brother Jumpty. Well, it's actually in this film because he's got this magic dagger what could destroy the evil sorcerer. So the dude gets killed, the Chinese dude. You got an idea Eddie Murphy's falling for. Before I'm going a bit ahead of myself here because there's a bit where he has a weird dream. And there's a nice bit where the Chinese do, it's all tied up, mimic leather and all that, but you find out it's a dream. I love the bit where he says, the bit where you're all naked and you wanted me, was that dream? That was a dream. But I love it, I love Eddie Murphy. This is Eddie Murphy I miss. He's funny, he's boofy, he's got a humour, the bit where he's getting the dagger and he's going through the oops. How can I forget it? How could I forget it? He got one guy in it, has a funny eye, little guy, tries to rip Eddie Murphy off. And he meets him halfway in the film and he says a line where he's doing a bit of rapping. I've got the knife. This is Eddie Murphy I miss. You know, he's arrogant, but he's funny, he's cocky and he's funny. This is Eddie Murphy I miss. So you do get comedy in it. Eddie Murphy is funny. It's Eddie Murphy. That would repeat himself. It's Eddie Murphy I miss. Eddie Murphy I miss. So he snaps up anyway when the dude gets killed and he meets this dude with magical powers, half dragon, half woman, and then he goes to save the kid. The evil sorcerer turns into this dragon thing, a bit of stop motion, I'm a sucker for that. He folds the knife, kills the dragon, brings the beautiful woman back to life, because it says if you kill the evil demon, the woman, the tiny pretty woman will come back to life, gets with her, gets to the Golden Child, they also say, you know, Farfus the Golden Child, walks off with the woman, happy ending. How I long for the happy ending in fantasy films these days. Instead of a downbeat, boring ending, instead of a twist ending, instead of an ending that drags on, it has a happy ending. It doesn't take itself too serious. It's got good practical effects. I love the Golden Child. I love it. I mean, I've got it on DVD, and it's like I said, I just wish that Paramount would have to respect to give it an ultimate double disc special edition in widescreen. But that's my only issue. I still love the film. I do think it's a good film. That being The Golden Child from 1986. Into them people, be smart, be safe, and the hell with it. 10-star rating. Into them. See you later.